The Coach and the Casual Miami edition. We got fighters, influencers. Today we're interviewing Justin Ibarrola. He's a BKFC undefeated fighter, professional undefeated boxer, boxing coach here out in this area. Let's get into it.
Hey, we're glad to be here. What I always like to start off first off, a common segment. We're really glad to have you, Justin. Common segment is on Ramsey's outfits, and today we're glad to know that those shoes look like you got them from the Eastern Bloc when the wall came down in Berlin.
Yeah, honestly.
Those are looking a little rough, yeah.
Well, yeah, they look a little rough, bro. They were clean until I wore them out last night, bro. I had them clean.
Like Keds.
Yeah.
K-E-D-S.
What?
Keds.
Keds? No, I don't.
Like my K-Swiss.
Yeah, oh yeah, they do look like
My
K-Swizzes.
K-Swiss.
You know, I would be more offended if you had some
He's
fucking.
making them work though. He's making
Yeah.
Maybe get rid of the socks.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm
Just
just.
go no sock. Just go no
Miami's a
sock.
no socks kind of.
I know, but it's so fucking hot. How do you like? My feet sweat.
Sweating? Yeah.
dude. Like.
I have that problem too.
Okay.
I have that problem.
I mean, we live in Salt Lake, so it's like literally 20 degrees at home right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our wives are like
Couldn't imagine.
freezing.
I'm actually originally from Seattle.
Oh hell yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What part?
I've lived here. Well, Tacoma. Well, if you want to go real deep,
I do.
Spanaway Lake.
Oh, I know Spanaway
Listen,
Lake.
if you're ever going to ask Rams if he wants to go real deep, the answer is always.
Yeah. You want to get into some
Always,
conspiracy theories?
Regardless of context, like you're doing jiu-jitsu, like, hey, you want to go deeper? Oh, yes.
Yeah. I always love it.
You know where you know the place he's talking about?
Yeah. Spanway. We used to always wrestle down there. Like, what's that?
That's where I wrestled.
Oh, really? What high school?
Spanaway Lake.
Oh, Spanaway Lake. Nice. I was at Jackson up in Mill Creek.
Oh,
Everett
really?
area. Yeah.
I'm from Forks, Washington. Up there, there was this girl. Her name was Bella.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Cut that. That's so lame.
I'm Edward Cullen.
Yeah. I'm a vampire.
Well, cool, man. How long you been out here in Florida?
Since I started my boxing career, actually, so 6 years ago.
And how old are you now?
25.
25.
Oof, perfect, bro. Do you feel good?
25. Oh, yeah, I feel
You're-
amazing.
you're
Honestly,
you're ahead of a lot of guys, especially if you already got a couple fights in the promotion.
yeah, and BK, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kai Stewart kind of beat me at that. He's, 21, 22 with the title.
Who's that, Hefty?
Yeah, hefty.
Yeah.
Kai.
So he
Kind of
fought-
jealous about that.
He just fought in Salt Lake, and he's an animal.
He's an animal, bro.
Yeah, Howard Davis is a real close friend of mine, though.
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
little salty about that one.
Dude, he
Salt Lake
looks
City.
big, and he was excited to be there. And
That was a good fight too.
Great
That was a
fight.
great fight.
It was.
He was just Hefty was just so much bigger than him, like thicker, because
Thicker.
he was way taller.
Which
You know
though?
what? It's funny. I could compare that fight to last night's fight with Strickland and Duplessis. I think Howard was kind of looking like Strickland, super powerful and composed, but he wasn't. Something wasn't clicking in his head. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, like I feel like Howard Davis is tough, but he just was. Kai's style is just. And that's what I want to bring to you is because you have the wrestling background
Right.
too. Do you think that benefits in the BKFC?
Listen, I'm a little bit of a hater of Kai Stewart. I don't have a problem with him.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with anybody, but he's a clown.
Did you say your biggest problem with him is that mustache of his? Because that was that handlebar he's got.
Yeah,
going on.
you know what? It's funny. He was actually in Delray Beach because I was supposed to fight in Delray Beach.
Yeah.
That was where my debut was supposed to be, where I'm living. And it got canceled. So that was in last March. Last March. And I actually ran into him at one of these, like, local bars in the area. It was funny. I just pulled up my phone and just started talking shit. But
Oh, you did? Hell yeah, dude. I like.
he's look, I don't know him like that. Like, one thing people get wrong, you start talking shit about somebody and you think it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a problem with the guy. I just have my opinions and he has his, whatever.
You just want to fight him.
What,
right?
what was HD's opinion afterwards? Does he think like, oh damn it, I blew it, or was Kai the better fighter? What was HD's in your opinion?
I mean, one of the things I love about HD is like he doesn't think that way.
Yeah.
He moves on. He takes it to the chest and he keeps it going. He doesn't let it really affect him. So negative or positive, he doesn't overhype himself. If it's negative, he just continues on. He doesn't let it impact him as well. So I respect that a lot about HD. He's pretty humble. He's not pretty. He's really humble, actually. A lot more humble than I am.
Well, it's kind of funny because, like, just meeting you two and just the personas in the cage,
Yeah.
I feel like it would be almost the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you come off, like, quiet, very, like,
Yeah,
humble, and he kind of comes off, like, like...
It's showtime.
Yeah, showtime, but then it's the opposite in real life.
Yeah,
you know?
it's funny. So, my first two, you guys haven't got to see that side of me yet, but
Yeah.
I think this one on February 2nd, I think that's the one.
What's gonna happen February 2nd?
February 2nd, so, everyone wants to talk about the knockout, but for me, I like to showcase what I'm working with. I don't like to waste. Let me see. How do I word this? I don't like to just go in there and brawl.
Yeah.
And look like a fucking amateur like Kai Stewart.
Hell yeah.
There
Like,
we go.
I like
Say
to
it,
showcase.
dude. Say it how you want to say
I
it.
like to showcase my skill. I like to show you guys how sharp my punches are. I like to show you guys how I utilize the feints, how I move around the ring, whether you're aggressive or not, how I work in the clinch, how I'm able to
Yeah.
immobilize you in the clinch. I like fighting that style, so I don't mind going the 5 rounds. I don't care about a fucking knockout either.
Yeah.
I'm there to entertain the crowd and showcase what I got. So
Would you rather win or like,
Would you rather knock out or would you rather?
no, like, would you rather like go out, win a boring fight, or lose the most exciting fight?
Barn
ever?
burner, yeah.
I'd rather,
win.
I'm not going to say lose, but I'd rather not get my hand raised in the most exciting fight.
All right, so you're a
Because
people's guy.
I'm like, bro, if I knock out like this guy, bro, if I knock him out, what kind of guy do I look like jumping around the cage like I just fucked some superstar up? Like,
Yeah.
I know who I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I'm not going to overhype myself. I'm not going to, that's something I have wrong with some of these fighters in BKFC. Like, they're knocking out bums. They're jumping around the cage and
Yeah.
barking at the cameras. And it's like, dude, humble yourself a little bit.
But so you'd be. I mean, I don't want to get off this Kai thing because
Because you guys are the same way. You're undefeated.
you'd have to come up to fight Kai, wouldn't you?
Well, he's
I'd have to
coming
come-
up.
I'd have to come up. So this fight, I'm doing a catch weight at 140.
Oh, it's a catch
Kai,
weight, okay.
Kai's 145. I could definitely fight 140. My first professional fight was 147.
So let me play devil's advocate here because here's the deal with the show. I mean, it's the coach and the casual. I'm a casual fan. All I can do is say what I've seen.
He doesn't know anything about fighting.
I'm a casual fighter too. Like, I'm just laid back.
But so watching Kai, I mean, that was my first experience with BKFC. He was an animal. He was landed on HD. HD was a lot taller than. I'd say that Kai's probably a little bit taller than you, right? How are you dealing with him being on top of you like that? Because he was heavy on top. He's a heavy 145er. He looks thick.
He is. So when I first met him, I mean, he was a lot bigger than I expected.
Yeah.
He's probably like 5'8", 5'9", maybe. He might have like 3-4 inches on me. But he's definitely wide and broad. I mean, he's probably walking around 165.
Yeah.
Maybe even heavier.
Yeah,
I walk around
170.
160 fighting at 135.
Yeah.
And he looked pretty massive next to me. So who knows? He might be a little bigger. But I think all Kai has in store, or let's go back to the wrestling question.
Yeah.
Right. How would I handle that? I mean, I like to move around the ring. That's my style. So it'd be pretty hard for him to catch me in the clinch. And not only that, I'm a slippery fighter. If you do catch me in the clinch, I use that wrestling technique that I have in the back of my head I've been grappling. First of all, it was judo. I've been grappling since I was 8 years old.
Oh, cool.
So I'm slippery in the clinch. Or, I use leverage and I immobilize your punches. But, if you want to get scrappy, I'll just let go of you and get scrappy, But I try to avoid the scrappy fights as much as possible.
You want to keep it clean and stuff, and like
It's not even
the
about
art of boxing, like hit and don't get hit.
not even about that, not even about staying clean. It's just the matter of, hit and don't get hit, right?
Yeah.
Taking as least amount of risks as possible.
Yeah.
That's what it is for me. I'll fucking brawl, I'll scrap. If you bring that fight to me, I'll do it. But if I can avoid it, I will absolutely avoid that.
What's your main? I mean, sounds like you got some judo in you, but I mean, would you say your main background is striking? Would you say that's where?
As of now, because even though striking's new to me, 6 years compared to my childhood. I would say that's my main thing.
Why'd you go in this direction then instead of going like an MMA route?
So I moved to Florida from Seattle to pursue MMA actually, and then I started at Coconut Creek top team,
Oh, really?
and
18T.
I just wasn't catching the vibe, but I was catching the vibe with the boxing trainer that they had there, Dia Davis, and he was like one of my first boxing coaches. And I just started striking. I never.
Howard Davis's son.
Yeah.
The old school Olympic boxer, Howard Davis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, I've never.
Casual doesn't know what we're talking about.
I've never been.
One of the greatest.
HD?
No, one of the greatest of boxers in American history, Howard Davis.
Never heard of
Same
him.
name, yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Another Muslim fighter.
I've never been in a fight. Never been in a street fight. Never landed a punch on anybody until I started sparring at 19 years old.
You never been in a street fight or anything?
Never. Nothing.
Dang, dude. I mean, you're calm.
I mean, yeah. I was like I said, I was like, a lot of people tried me, in high school because I was the wrestler. But like you said, I'm calm. I just don't feed into that bullshit. Everyone wants to get a rise out of you. I'm good at talking shit and putting people in their place, but I'm good at doing it in a humble stage. Like I don't need to yell and bark at you to do it.
You can just cut him with some words,
Just cut him with some words. So that's more of my style. Can I be cocky and be a little more energetic? Yes, that you might see that in this next fight. Like I know how to turn it up and I know how to turn it down.
Yeah.
So one thing that people mistake about me is I'm just a very deceiving fighter. You never know what you're gonna get out of me.
Like one day you'll be aggressive,
Very
one time,
deceiving.
yeah.
I'm probably the most composed fighter that you.
What's your prep work going into a fight? Then are you watching a lot of tape? Are you planning for it? Or are you just going in and playing your own game?
Play my own game. I mean, if I need to watch tape and he has a lot of fights, I will watch the tape, but I pick up on the tape very quickly and I just get right to work. But I rely mostly on my sharpness, my speed, because I'm not so worried about what he can bring. It's because all that shit goes out the window when you're facing him in the ring.
True.
So it doesn't really matter, even if you study him, that it could actually backfire because maybe you're only focused on what you've been studying and now everything just goes out the window.
Yeah, it's like I always tell people, it's like you want to watch film, but if you get too much into it.
Then you start overthinking, second-guessing yourself. That's what happened to me in my second bare knuckle fight.
Really?
I watched a lot of film. I watched this fight to bed every single night.
Oh, shit.
And I just started overthinking, and I was like...
But you won it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And then, I had to just keep reminding myself, dude, just trust your own instincts, trust the work you put in. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to, like believing in yourself. So I just
it's like the Strickland DDP we watched, DDP was able to lead the dance, and that's why he was, I think, able to win that fight. And whoever can lead the rhythm, lead the dance, and if you're kind of like adaptable, sounds like, you are, like, and that's, you never get led in a dance because you can just adapt to the different styles.
I always start my fight the same way, but I never you can never pick like how I fight. There's no definition for how I fight because if you're aggressive, I'm going to fight totally completely different way that might do better against you. If you're a boxer and you want to play a chess match, I'll fight a completely different way like that. If you're a clincher, we can fight a completely different way like that. So, I switch it up, and I'm very smart. I know how to go from one plan to another in the middle of the ring as it's happening.
Yeah.
How much of that is so it sounds like you don't write game script in your head beforehand. I like it. It's good, instinctual. But what happens when you get in there and somebody is outclassing you? Have you been in with somebody who's outclassed you yet? And if so, then you have to be smarter. Because if they got better techniques, then you got to be smarter, right?
Yeah.
What do you do when you get in there and you're like, oh shit, this guy is good. Maybe not even necessarily in the ring, but sparring. This guy's good. What am I doing?
Yeah. So if I encounter a guy who's like outclassing me, first of all, if any of you are getting outclassed by a fighter, and you just don't have that fucking heart in you to press that motherfucker and start being a little aggressive, then you're gonna lose. So that's how you beat a fighter who's outclassing you. You bring the pressure to him. You have to suck it up. You have to stay conditioned, and you just have to bring pressure, stay in his face, keep the guard tight. Every time he throws, you throw. That's how you beat a guy. Because if you're trying to outclass a guy that's outclassing you, You're gonna get beat to the punch every single time.
Yeah, and that's honestly what was happening. Sometimes that's the way that DBDP could have lost last night.
Yeah.
Is that every time he'd go for these big overhands or pop, pop,
So
pop.
one day I was in the comments of like all the posts after they win. I was like, dude, I wish this guy was throwing more feints because it was just one pace the entire. The pressure was great, but
Strickland could see it coming a mile away.
yeah, when you have one pace the entire time, it's very easy to see. Like,
Hey, but he's just like such a brute. He's just eating everything. And,
Yeah.
But instead, if you like kind of feint it a little bit, you'd open up.
yeah, he needs to feint more. He needs to. I'm big on changing the speed.
Yeah, rhythm and speed, timing.
That's one of my like.
Is your coach ever in the corner? Like, how much are you listening to your coach, and how much are you turning off the world and be like, I'm going to fight my fight?
I'm kind of like a.
Is your coach like, man, this asshole doesn't listen to me more?
I'm kind of an asshole in the ring.
Yeah.
No, sometimes I listen to my coach, for the most part, but if I see something different in the moment, I'm gonna take my shot. Sometimes.
Yeah, you're the one out there feeling it.
Right. I'll see what he's looking at, and I'll see it coming, and I'll try to adjust. But if it's not working for me, for instance, if he's telling me, yo, he's dipping to the side a little bit, try throwing an uppercut, and I try a couple times, it's not working. Maybe my range isn't working. Maybe I can't find my distance. Okay, then I'm going it with my way. I'm going my route.
Well, that's like, so just to kind of change speeds a little bit, you're a young man, 25, super humble, mature. I mean, you said you're not that humble, but I mean, I haven't seen that side yet of you. So, and we've been like interviewing quite a few young guys lately.
Yeah.
And, like,
barking a lot.
no, not they bark a lot, just their lifestyle, they're up late and
Till 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Yeah. And like,
Yeah, you guys don't see that side of me. No, that's a problem. That's a problem.
do you stay up late?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Are you like, because that's what I was kind of wondering, like how, like what's your personal life? Are you married, kids?
I like to have fun, man. No,
Yeah.
I'm single.
Single,
no
young
kids,
in Miami.
Young, right? Like, I like to go out. I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm human and I like to do shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, Ramsey used to party like an animal when he was in the UFC. I think that's one of the unique benefits of being a fighter is that your life is. I mean, even Drickus, he would because we had Drickus on the podcast.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I would just go train with my brother 3 times in the morning and afternoon, and then we just get super drunk."
Hey, sometimes that's what it takes to be good at this shit. You have to be a crazy dude inside your head. You got to think of the wildest shit, and that's what sometimes.
Getting in the ring is a wild thing.
Yeah.
Well, bro, like there's been fighters, that have gotten sober. And then they can't. They suck, bro.
Hunger disappears.
Yeah.
Like look at McGregor. Like he loves.
Well, hold on, he went the opposite.
Yeah, he went the opposite.
I mean,
he fell off the boat.
But look at him. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he fell off the wagon. But like
Look at
Joe
him,
Daddy
he can't stop
Stevenson.
partying, but like he's the craziest dude on the fucking planet right now.
Who?
McGregor.
Oh yeah,
Like
right.
that like hunger hasn't left him yet.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
like you
I don't
always
wanna
got
say hunger. Like I don't think
that
he wants-
twitch.
That twitch.
Yeah, we all have a twitch in us. If
Yeah.
you fight, you got a twitch.
I think a big thing about being a fighter is I think most fighters, just talking to them, have impulse control problems. You know what I mean? And so it's like it's good for you. It's good for you to fight because it's the same thing that makes you go out and party and do all those things is the same thing that says let's bang right now. You know what I mean? It's like reckless abandon of anything that'll keep me safe. We're gonna go right now.
Yeah.
Are you like extremist too? Like training, and then when it's not training.
Oh, you
it's-
guys are getting the wrong perception of me. I don't want to say I don't take this shit serious.
No, we're not taking.
we're not
No,
But like no.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
you guys think I'm probably too humble.
oh really?
I think you think I'm too humble. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, you're a
I
little
like
bit
to party.
Okay, you're a little wild. All right, yeah, you like to party. Okay.
I got the impression you're a good Christian man. That
Everyone that knows me, all my friends, they know me as the wild man.
Oh, dude,
I'm the
okay.
wild man. I like to have my fun.
We
man.
just assumed you were living a celibate lifestyle until marriage.
Brother, women are distractions.
Focus on your training.
Focus on your training.
Yeah.
You know, you're the Christian.
Yeah. Listen, I'm human. I'm 20. Listen, you guys say 25 is young, but in this fight game, I got five good years left in me.
Dude, honestly, I know you don't believe this, but from 30 to 33 was my best time.
Yeah, I believe that. 30,
Yeah.
30, I would say 30.
You get these next 5 years, you get to build, and then you get to eat for 3 years.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to look at it. You're building right now.
Right. So like, I mean, this shit's boring. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not as fun as it looks. It's boring. So yeah, I like to have some fun. I'm fucking human.
Well, like
I don't
Friday
wanna miss out
night,
on shit.
tired,
It's,
yeah.
Does that make me less serious of a fighter than other guys? I don't think so.
No, I mean, I'm not saying. I was just wondering because you come off so.
I'm more directing my comments towards the viewers.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna start hearing me talk and be like, "Oh, this guy fucking not serious about this shit." Like,
No,
he's
right,
just trying
bro.
to have fun and live.
Well, I think.
I mean, look at John Jones.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
John Jones is the greatest example of an extremist, right?
we make mistakes. It happens.
Well, John Jones.
But I mean, he parties hard.
But he also tried to hide that persona too, which is
Yeah.
a big problem.
I don't try to hide shit.
Yeah,
honestly.
you don't want to hide it.
I don't try to hide shit. I want you to know how fun I am, and then I want you to know that I can still kick your ass.
Well, I think it's hard. I think it's hard to deny you being serious about it, being 3-0. Talk about your first 3 fights in the BKFC.
Yeah. So, my first professional fight was probably the most prepared and the most serious I took it. I think that's everybody probably.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
That was at 147. I fight at 135, but that one was at 147. I went up. That one was just, if you watch that fight, you'll really see like the masterclass I can put on people compared to the bare knuckle scene.
Yeah.
So I would love to put the gloves back on, by the way, but they're not paying me like bare knuckle.
Hell yeah.
So, and then we move on to.
You just feel like you can put on a better show with gloves.
You can get away with more.
You can loosen up quite a bit.
Yeah, you can loosen up. You can get away with more. You have more.
You can take more risk because catching one of those in the face isn't as big a risk.
Yeah.
Where you catch a clean one with a bare knuckle, you get cut open, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Fight's over.
And believe it or not, it's easier to throw punches with a glove on than without. Some people have it the other way around. Think about it. You gotta think of like a sledgehammer. You got a lot of weight on this hand with the glove, right?
Yeah.
So when you're swinging it, you have a lot more force coming forward. So that obviously helps.
It's also
You don't have to clench your fist so tight.
And it's a good example I heard too. Is like you'll throw it with more weight behind. Because if I'm going to punch this wall, if I got a glove on, I'm going to hit it a lot harder than I'm going to hit it with bare hand.
Exactly.
Just mentally,
exactly.
it's like you. They say if you could surpass the idea of not doing it, you could bite your own finger off like a carrot. It's just your brain stops you from throwing that hard.
I've heard that. Yeah, that's funny.
That's wild. Yeah.
So, I mean, after the first professional fight, I took a whole year off.
Why?
This truth, on camera, this fight shit looks amazing, but truthfully, it's a fucking struggle. It's like you gotta think of it as opening your own business. Like, you gotta work for the shit. You gotta stay hungry, and it's demotivating as hell. If you're not in the right mindset, you're not gonna make it in the sport. Like, it's demotivating. Like, no one's here. Everyone sees like the Gervonta Davises that have all these people behind him. Him coming up, he probably had a lot of support.
Yeah, as a team.
I don't got shit.
Yeah.
I started boxing at 19 years old. I barely have an amateur background. Like, I'm paying for everything.
Yeah. And you have a gym.
And
Shout it out.
yeah. So Delray Beach Boxing Club, that's my gym. Me and one of my best friends. He's like an older brother to me. It's his gym. He included me as like part owner.
Cool.
So we kind of run it together. Shout out Joe Samara. That's my boy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard. Like, I mean, the fight life is
so after
brutal.
that pro fight, after that first pro fight, I just got back on the streets, started partying, try to find some fun with my life. I'm young too.
It's almost like getting
hard.
your first pro fight. It's like getting your purple belt, right?
Yeah.
It's like so many people finally get their purple belt and then they just stop going.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what it was
it's
like. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I've done it now. I don't. You put so much mental energy and physical work into getting that first fight. Now it's done. It's like, okay, let me just not do that.
Yeah. I quit boxing. I quit fighting like 3 times in my life. Yeah. I quit. Like,
Me too.
I quit. I've taken years off. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna do this shit, and it finds its way back, bro. Like, I can't live without it for some reason. And then when I got into I used to train a former BKFC champ, Francesco Ricci.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's kind of how I got into it. I was training him. I trained him for like 4 of his fights. We got the title together. We lost it together. And then I was like, man, I want to try this shit.
Yeah.
It's fun, and they'll pay me. So
So you saw it and you're like, I want to get in there.
yeah.
It's funny because Rams was the opposite. He saw it, he was like, oh, yeah, well, I'm not doing that.
I was like, I reiterated retirement. I was like, yeah, I'm glad where I am right now.
I have high standards for these fighters too, though. So I'm not like what's the word when you're not taking someone as serious as you should?
Like nonchalant.
Why
don't
can
know.
I think? Why can't I think right now?
Yeah.
Me either, though. Don't worry. It's me.
Not putting a ton of weight on him.
Yeah.
But I just didn't take these fighters seriously at the time, and I was like, man, I'll just fuck everybody up. I'm like, my boxing class is way ahead. Then I had my first one, and I completely changed my
Yeah.
completely
brutal.
changed my opinion. It is different, especially being someone who's never been in a fight in their life.
Yeah, that's wild.
In their life, the first time I hit someone bare knuckle was in that ring.
Whoa, how'd it feel?
It felt amazing. Actually.
But it kind of felt gross, though, huh? Yes,
Well,
it
it
did.
actually, you know
It
what?
feels
When I
gross.
first landed my right hand, I was like, I hesitated because I was like, yo, I thought it was, first of all, I thought it would hurt more.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt that bad.
Yeah.
I don't even remember getting punched that entire fight. I got a cut. I don't even remember getting cut. I don't remember shit that happened in that fight.
The problem with bare knuckle is that, I mean, yeah, it hurt, like, it's less of a hit, but it's so damaging because of the knuckles that dudes are just turning up like roast beef. I mean, it looks like they got a vagina on their face,
Like,
on
Oh
their
my
eye.
god, bro! Yeah, there's
It's
some guys that are
gross.
bad out there. They're gonna touch one time and they're leaking everywhere, and everything's
yeah.
flapping around. Like,
Yeah,
Like the heavyweight champ fight. Remember the Scottish guy?
that was gross.
Literally, remember that fight?
Yeah,
His
yeah.
fucking face was hanging
you know
up.
what's worse though? I tell people this all the time. The women,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that
they
one,
swell up so easy.
that
And they don't
one
have
woman
enough
was
power to sleep each other, so they're just like
Right.
non-stop. Just
that
like,
one woman was scary too. Is that Australian
Turn
chick?
into aliens,
yeah.
bro.
that Brazilian and Australian girl, Becky,
No, Becky was
no.
Becky was the white girl.
and then the Brazilian.
Wait, Rawlings versus Ferreira.
Yeah,
Ferreira.
we did. We were there for that fight. Holy crap!
And then
Everyone in
that-
the crowd was like, "Please, no
Stop it.
more."
Dude.
And then she came out, the girl who won, the champion,
Yeah.
and we were in the back room, and her hands were just like, oh.
Her hand was like this
People would
swollen.
get a dap her up, and she was like, oh.
Yeah,
Much
Don't
crappier
touch
than
me.
guys.
Dude, they are wild. Well, it's kind of wild because like women's MMA, like as we saw last night with that Bruno Silva and
It's a
Pennington.
crapshoot. It could be awesome or it could be terrible.
Yeah.
Watch that fight. How did Pennington look?
It was 5 rounds of just
Horrible.
The one girl, not Pennington, what was the other one?
Bruno Silva.
Bruno Silva, she had her 3 times locked up. I mean, just rear naked, and she would just get out.
Literally, the fight ended with the Bruno Silva laying on her back like this. And
I saw that photo.
And she just
I saw
kicking
that
her leg. Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh. We were like so excited for the main event. We almost went home. We're
was
like,
terrible.
we're tired, bro. We're like, we're in bed at 10, you know?
The bad thing about like female fights is like you have that one or two like star like,
Yeah.
fighters, and then the rest are just
Like, what's her name? Chelenko or whatever. She was like, probably watched that fight. She's like, I could easily move up
Yeah.
and beat both of those girls.
Yeah.
And then even like, what's her name? Julia Pena is waiting on the outside. She's like, I get the next match. And I'm like, I don't think she's very good, but she will murder both of those
Actually,
girls.
instead of you moving up, let's
Yeah.
just close the division.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Or maybe it's,
Amanda's gone now. Let's just close the
well,
division.
it's time to talk about having a separate
WUFC.
WUFC and a UFC.
yeah, honestly.
Honestly.
Now you have fucking Clarissa Shields calling out every freaking lightweight fighter on the roster right now.
Dudes, right?
Thurman, Rolly.
Okay, so let's say the best woman champion of the BKFC. Okay, actually, let's pick Paige because I've got the biggest crush on Paige. But she's coming back. Let's say you
Are
had.
you an OnlyFans member?
Just look at her face after the first bare knuckle fight.
Yeah.
Get over.
But let's say you had to stand still while you took 10 punches and then you could fight. You think she's knocking you out, or do you think you're going to get her?
She's not.
You-
10
punches?
She's loading up and torquing every single part of her body into her punch.
Yeah.
Like, just twisting her whole fucking body into it. Yeah.
No,
That'd
me.
be rough.
No, me. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, well, I
I'd be
only
in
say-
pure
I
bliss.
only
It's
say
like,
that
oh, hit me.
I only say that because, like, you know, it really doesn't take a lot of force to knock somebody out.
It's true. Just a touch, right?
Yeah.
You hit it on the right button.
It's like,
That's why I
did
say
you
that.
ever watch Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
When Paulie D was like, it only takes 8 pounds of pressure to break the human nose. When he was
I
going out and
remember
fighting.
I didn't see that.
Did he hit somebody, or he was just
Yeah, like he was at a bar, like he was somebody was messing with his boy Vinny, and he was like, it only takes 8 pounds of pressure to break a human nose.
And he punched
throws a
him?
punch, yeah.
He said that as he threw it?
Oh, I wish I saw that. I wish I saw that.
That's hilarious. All I know about those dudes is he's a DJ, and I used to work at a nightclub, and
DJ
he would
Pauly
come,
D, yeah.
DJ Pauly D would come to it, and I'd be like security before I was like in the UFC, just standing there, and I'm like, so who are you? And he's like, DJ Pauly. I'm like, oh, cool. And then he's like, you ever seen Jersey Shore? I was like asking me, and I was like, no.
No, dude, Snooki got hot. Side note, but okay.
That's all I know. Snooki wants smoosh.
Stuff like cool. Well, I'll tell you what. We are big fans of, and we're getting closer, but we're such big fans of the BKFC organization. You talked about them paying you, but really, I mean, why? What makes them such a fun organization to be a part of, aside from the element of it being bare knuckle?
I mean, their productions. I think their production's amazing.
Big time.
I think
Big
they're going. I think they're going down the right path. Could they be better? Absolutely. I mean, but they're learning, and like I said before, I even started fighting for bare knuckle. Like when they were in BKFC 20s.
Yeah.
I was a low key hater. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, dude, what kind of what are they doing? They need some creativity. I used to throw my own boxing shows as well in Delray Beach with my partner. We've done 4 shows. So when I see this shit and I see the production, I'm like, we gotta
do something better.
But everyone's always gonna be a big critique. But now I love bare knuckle. I think they're going
Like their production went through the roof, though.
The one thing
You walk out and those steam shoots up on the side.
And they got the
It's
lights.
it's the entertainment that I love fighting them on them for, you know? Like, I think they're doing a good job. They're the fastest growing combat sport. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? And the only thing I don't really like about Bare Knuckle is they highlight the knockouts overly highlight knockouts. It's like they only want to post knockouts.
Yeah,
You
instead
don't
of like
know-
the clean boxing.
You don't know any other fighter in BKFC. You see the same 10 fighters every single time because they're getting sloppy knockouts, which, respect, whatever, that's the sport. But I think we need to clean things up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they just kind of start, but they're trying to,
They're trying to hype it up. It's constant hype. And
to the common fan.
I respect that. I respect that. Yeah, I know what they're doing. I like it.
Well, before we close out, I want you to send a message to your opponent February 2nd in LA, right? Or
February 2nd. That's
No,
here.
they're fighting
oh, here, yeah, that's here, yeah.
Seminole.
At
That's
the
here.
Hard Rock
Hard
Casino.
Rock.
Yeah, that's right. Shout it out.
Because we got Palomino coming in too, so tell them what's going to happen to him.
To my opponent,
Yes.
To Williams.
I'm probably gonna go in there, touch him up with a couple jabs, and if he tries to grab me, I'm gonna lick his bald forehead.
Hell yeah. You think I know you've talked about the techno and not as big a knockout. Do you think it's not going to be a knockout? You think you're going to give him all the rounds of hell? He's going to.
No, I would love. Honestly, I would love to go 5 rounds. I don't think he's that durable. I think I'm gonna upset myself and maybe hit him too hard, probably, and he just won't take it. My first 2 guys were durable. They were taking my shots. I don't think this guy's that durable. So I think I'm just it might be within 2 rounds. But I would love to go 5 rounds because I just want to dance and have some fun.
That was a big thing that Mike Perry always talks about. Is like, dude, I trained for months for this. I hate that I keep putting him out in the first round, second round.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, that's literally.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it does
dude,
feel like that.
Don't let me waste all this training time.
Don't get me wrong. Hey, if I can get him out in 10 seconds, go home and eat a fucking piece of cake, I would love to.
Yeah, hey, if you got a little premature, as long as you came, everybody's a winner.
The thing is, she's mad she didn't come, but hey, if it's a race, I'm
Hey, I won. Yeah.
I'm the one who finished.
Yeah, why not, dude? As long as I came, I'm happy.
That's funny.
It's her responsibility. Okay. Well, honestly, dude, it's been a blast having you here. It's exciting. Tell us where we can find you on social media. Tell us where to look for you.
On all social media platforms, I keep it the same. It's Team Ibarrola. My last name, Ibarrola. Team Ibarrola.
But say it with the tongue roll.
I can't.
Ibarrola.
I can't even do the roll myself.
I got my nipples got a little hard. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in, man. Be really excited. February 2nd, come watch a beatdown. Thanks for tuning into The Coach and the Casual. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and share it with your friends. Thanks again.